Hey, sixth graders, we're finished with chapter 7, so we will be reviewing and then having a quiz today. So, vocab first. Organism is a living thing. Habitat, an environment that provides the things a specific organism needs to live, grow, and reproduce. Biotic factors, a living or once living part of an organism's habitat. Abiotic factors are a non-living part of an organism's habitat. Species is a group of similar organisms that can mate with each other and produce offspring that can also mate and reproduce. Population is all the members of one species, living in the same area. Community, all the different populations that live together in a particular area. Ecosystem, the community of organisms that live in a particular area along with their non-living environment. Ecology is the study of how organisms interact with each other and their environment. Birth rate is the number of births per 1,000 individuals for a certain time period. Death rate is the number of deaths per 1,000 individuals for a certain time period. Immigration is the movement of individuals into a population's area. Emigration, movement of individuals out of a population's area. Population density is the number of individuals in an area of a specific size. Limiting factor is an environmental factor that causes a population to decrease in size. Carrying capacity is the largest population that a particular environment can support. Natural selection is the process by which organisms that are best adapted to their environment are most likely to survive and reproduce. Adaptation is an inherited behavior or physical characteristic that helps an organism survive and reproduce in its environment. A niche, how an organism makes its living and interacts with the biotic and abiotic factors in its habitat. Competition is the struggle between organisms to survive as they attempt to use the same limited resources in the same place at the same time. Predation is an interaction in which one organism kills another for food or nutrients. Predator is the organism that does the killing in a predation interaction. Prey is an organism that is killed and eaten by another organism in a predation interaction. Symbiosis is any relationship in which two species live closely together and that benefits at least one of the species. Mutualism is a type of symbiosis in which both species benefit from living together. Commensalism is a type of symbiosis between two species in which one species benefits and the other species is neither helped nor harmed. Parasitism is a type of symbiosis in which one organism lives with, on, or in a host and harms it. A parasite is an organism that benefits by living with, on, or in a host in a parasitism interaction. And a host is an organism that a parasite lives within or on and provides a source of energy or a suitable environment for the parasite to live. So normally with vocab, we'll have a few that are matching for the quiz. So from lesson 1, an organism gets food, water, shelter, and other things it needs to live, grow, and reproduce from its environment. An organism interacts with both the living and non-living parts of its habitat. The smallest level of organization is a single organism, which belongs to a population that includes other members of its species. The population belongs to a community of different species. The community and abiotic factors together form an ecosystem. So we talked about prairie dogs and the prairie habitat. So factors in a prairie habitat include sunlight, soil, temperature, oxygen, and water. That might be a multiple choice question. So the organism is the black-tailed prairie dog. The population is the prairie dog town. The community, all the living things that interact on the prairie. Ecosystem is all the living and non-living things that interact on the prairie. Lesson 2, populations can change in size when new members join the population or when members leave the population. Some limiting factors for populations are weather conditions, space, food, and water. That will probably be a fill in the blank with options. And then remember, if birth rate is greater than death rate, the population size increases, and if death rate is greater than the birth rate, then the population size decreases. So some limiting factors, changes in climate conditions, space, food, and water, carrying capacity. So if there's a smaller area and it doesn't have enough space for everybody. And from lesson 3, every organism has a variety of adaptations that are suited to its specific living conditions and help it survive. 2 major types of interactions among organisms are competition and predation. The 3 main types of symbiotic relationships are mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. Some prey have different coloring to help protect them, and even sometimes they're predators too. So, assignment, complete the Edmodo questions for the Chapter 7 quiz. Let me know if you have any questions. Go back and check or review something if you need it. Otherwise, have a great day.